What's up, all you Roughneck and dudes and dudettes? Shiz here, and I'm back yet again with another episode of Retro Shiz. And today we're going to be looking at something a little bit different, but a movie that's very near and dear to me. And it's a very cool movie. And of course, I'm talking about Starship Troopers, specifically the Alien Arachnid Bug that was put out by Galoob Toys. These came out in the late 90s, around 97 when the movie was initially released, and it was packaged in an open box. You could kind of fiddle with it, but yes, Starship Troopers, directed by Paul Verhoeven, was just one of those awesome movies from my childhood, going to the movies myself and kind of sneaking into the theater. You know the ones, and seeing all those bugs just annihilated and just decimated. I still think the special effects still holds up, but we're going to take a look at this alien arachnid monster. He's very cool. It's very exciting. I'm so stoked to finally have one in my collection. So sit back, relax, enjoy, Roughnecks. We're getting into it. This is the Galoob 1997 Alien Arachnid Bug. Would you like to know more? Now, with this particular bug, I would say that they absolutely nailed the sculpt, the design. It's flawless. It is almost as if this creature jumped off of the screen. The mouth, the mandibles, the claws, everything from the color scheme. It's a beautifully sculpted figure, and I was impressed at how large it was, and you get to see more details, things that you don't really notice that were in the movie, much like its Black Widow type spotting on the very tip top of its head and along its back. But the tiger stripes, the black, the bit of it's almost like a camouflage looking color with the blacks on the orange, but it just works so well. It's got texture. It's got everything that you really wouldn't expect in a figure that's kind of like, well, here, let's make these for a movie. But on the backside, you get to see that it does have some markings, and then also where the battery cover is, because this thing actually does have sound. And just truth be told, if you unscrew it, and you need to put batteries in yours, they take an LR44 and they take precisely 3 of them. And on mine, I kind of took a gamble and not knowing if it correctly worked or not. And surprisingly, it still works. And you push a little button on top of its head. But if you fiddle with the jaws, it screws up the mechanism. Then I've had to actually reset the batteries several times before I finally took notice of why it wasn't working. But in terms of its articulation, the arms at the front of the head actually go up and down and to these sides. He's a little bit stiff for his old age, but it still works. It also swivels at the base of the body towards the head. And like I said, if you move the jaws, which they do clamp up and down, they will make noise as well. But because of this and screwing it all up, we won't be doing it again. But I'll definitely play the sound for you in just a moment. But for the amount of articulation, all 4 legs, it works. But he's more of a display piece at this point, and he just looks good as a giant, menacing bug alien. But let's just go ahead. Let's do what everyone came here to see. Let's go ahead and push that button and hear that 1997 sound. Listen to that baby purr. It's just absolutely perfect. And if you're wondering in terms of how it scales, I don't have any of the other actual Galoob-made Starship Trooper figures, but I will tell you that the more 4 to 5 inch type figures from Alien, the Kenner line, do work perfectly. If you have like a Mezco in that 6-inch scale, it doesn't look too bad either. It's sort of fun. You can kind of take liberties with how big the bug is in terms of McFarlane, or towards the 7-inch figure. He gets to be a little bit large, so I wouldn't say that he scales well with that, but like I said, around the 4 to 5 inch mark. And of course the Star Wars Black Series, of course, you could have the Mandalorian on some mystical planet protecting Baby Yoda, and he comes across this kind of bug creature. I don't know, and if you wanted to go ahead and use it as a Ghostbusters thing, you can do that as well. So that's going to wrap it up for my fresh look. Well, actually, let's say retro shiz look at this 1997 Galoob-made Starship Troopers Warrior Arachnid Bug. I love this thing. I'm so happy to have it in my collection. I love the sculpt, the colors, the fact that it still roars. It takes the worst batteries to find on the planet, but when you find them, go to the watch set, go to a watchmaker. That's pretty much what I did, but it's just fun. It's a lot of fun to have this. I recommend it for anyone's collection if you want an odd end piece, something that would promote discussion amongst all your friends and kind of show off a little bit. Be like, hey, you know what? I got something that really most people don't have, and he does go for a little bit of a higher price. So if you want one, definitely check eBay, Mercari, and all that. But I am curious to know, what do you guys think about Starship Troopers? Did you have any of these figures from Galoob as a kid? Did you have this warrior arachnid? Comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything Starship Troopers. I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, some great food, but most importantly, remember, Roughnecks, come on, you apes. You want to live forever? And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.